Donation makes a difference. You're going to hear 4 great stories of children who have come to Children's Hospital Los Angeles for critical care. Throughout this program, we're going to let you know how you can donate and help support Children's Hospital Los Angeles. It didn't appear that anything was wrong with 2-year-old Aiden Kramer. That was the conclusion given to Aiden's mother from multiple doctors. But Aiden's mother, Ashley, thought differently. Why had he broken so many bones in such a short time? Why did he complain of pain in his arms and legs? And that one morning he had trouble speaking. Why was that? Fortunately, her pediatrician put all the symptoms together and told Ashley and her husband to get Aiden to Children's Hospital Los Angeles immediately. It was there the family got a devastating answer, but a plan to meet it head on.
I made him. Aiden. What's the cat's favorite candy? Kit Kat.
What do you call a cow with 3 legs? A tri-tip.
Aiden's sense of humor, I'd like to say I had something to do with it, but it's definitely from his dad.
I'm gonna be Superman when I grow up.
Aiden is an old soul. When I first met him, I was really surprised with how well-spoken he was. We bonded over cheesy jokes. The punnier, the better.
How do you get a tissue to the party? You put a little boogie in it, and then he did a little dance.
Why did the banana go to the hospital? Because it wasn't peeling well.
Aiden is my miracle child. Aiden is an AML survivor. Aiden woke up one morning last September, and we were getting ready for school, or going to get ready for school. And he was crying, and he couldn't talk very well. And the side of his face was kind of melted. Like, I'm thinking, is my child having a stroke? And instead of going to preschool, we went to the local emergency room. And we were admitted. They did a lot of neurologic testing, MRIs, CT scans, all of which was extremely scary for him, extremely scary for us. So all of a sudden, my kid's saying something's wrong, and nobody can give us answers. And they said, you have to go to Children's Hospital. Like, Los Angeles, they're the ones who will give you answers. They're the ones who will figure it out. Each doctor said the same thing.
Aiden came into the hospital with a rare form of leukemia. He also came in with a very rare presentation, or the way that he came in was not something we would expect for leukemia.
When we had a diagnosis, we explained that he was in the hospital because his blood was sick. And just keeping it very simple in a way that he could understand.
CHLA embraced us when we had been kind of kicked out from other doctors, other offices, and they gave us hope. They figured out what was wrong when nobody else could.
They're very gracious and did agree to have Aiden go on to a study so that we can study more about how we can treat AML better in children.
And the statistics that applied to him at that time with everything he was showing did not look good. He had tumors and lesions throughout his body. He had bone deterioration in his hands and his arms. He had broken bones we didn't even know about, that he didn't even complain about, because it was become so common. And they said, all right, let's make a plan. The morning after his mass biopsy, we were playing cars on the floor, and Aiden kind of sat back on me, and I realized his head went forward, and I was actually holding him, like as in holding him up. He went completely limp in my arms, and our entire room filled up within seconds, filled up, and it was like this ballet taking place. Everybody took their place. They knew what they were doing. They started calling out things. There was a doctor literally came in just to stand next to my husband and I, and she explained every step, what they were doing, why they were doing it. Shot of epinephrine. Epinephrine wasn't working. They're getting ready to shock him and hopefully bring him back. And my husband and I were just holding hands and we're praying, God, you haven't brought us this far for nothing. Like, you didn't give us a child when they said we couldn't have one for nothing. And he took a breath and sat up.
Like, I owed them my life. Like, they literally saved my son.
that was how their treatment began. So you could see how it would have been kind of a terrifying ordeal of, how do I come back from this? Am I gonna be able to come back from this? And they really found hope in how well he responded, and he progressed quickly back, and he was back on the floor almost the next day.
Aiden started chemo immediately. He went through 4 rounds consecutively of chemotherapy. It took approximately 6 months.
He was on isolation, and so he was stuck in his room for a while, and so they just really found a lot of different ways to help him get through it.
It was the one thing I knew every single time, whether it was a piggyback ride or whether it was a ride around on the pole when you're hooked up to your chemo. If I could get him to smile, chances are there's a lot of other people around smiling too, and that's kind of what it's really about.
He celebrated Halloween, his 3rd birthday, Valentine's Day, all of his favorite things, and all things that he would get to do if he was at home. And that's really what we strive for when we're here. We don't want them to miss out on these childhood milestones.
CHLA as a whole saved our son. From the nurses that were with him every single day, making sure he was comfortable while he took his meds, the doctors who came in every day and made sure that we knew what was going on, made sure that we understood what was going on, the child life specialist, the therapist, it just doesn't stop.
Children's Hospital has been so supportive while we went through Aiden's journey with leukemia. Having them support us as a family and as a whole absolutely played a role in Aiden getting better.
What happened when you spin a car really fast? You get whipped cream. Please donate to kids like me.
Joining me now is Ashley Kramer, Aiden's mom. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us about your perseverance, about not giving up when doctor after doctor said nothing was wrong with Aiden.
It was really with the support and encouragement of my family, of my husband, just making sure that I didn't give up, and I kept asking the questions.
You didn't give up. Tell us, what does Children's Hospital Los Angeles mean to you and your family?
Children's Hospital, they mean the world to us. They literally helped save our child's life, and that's something that we could never say thank you enough or repay them for.
How is Aiden doing today?
He's doing fantastic. He is 10 months outside of his last dose of chemo, and he's at the point still where no sign of disease is found.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing your son's story with us today. And you can see the benefits of Children's Hospital Los Angeles on every family. Here's how you can help make a difference.
You can give health and hope to children like Aiden by making a tax-deductible gift to Children's Hospital Los Angeles today. By donating, you're supporting the Helping Hands Fund, which helps the hospital ensure that every child we treat receives critical life-saving care. The cost of providing the finest medical care to children is immense, and the need is urgent. So please call 1-800-GIVE-TO-KIDS or go to chla.org/TV. Please call or go online and donate now.
Joining me now is Paul Viviano, the president and CEO of Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Paul, thank you for joining us. Tell us about Children's Hospital Los Angeles.